welcome back to Hiking with Kathleen. In today's video, I'm taking you along as I plan out a hike that I'm doing for my nature club this week. Right now, this woodlot and open field and the associated Thames River is teeming with wildlife. We've had a very dry month of August and we're at the tail end of the month, but we had a great overnight rain. So I am standing just outside of this drainage pond that's in the middle of a subdivision. So far I've seen a great blue heron, a belted kingfisher, and a green heron. So even in your own backyard, it's potentially filled with wildlife. And I want you to join me today as we explore this particular woodlot. A great blue heron has been spooked. And so I'm just watching to see where it lands. It was over the Thames River, and I assume that probably some hikers were moving along the trail and it got spooked from that. So it was flying around trying to find a place to land, including this runoff pond. But it's headed back towards the Thames. Anyway, that's interesting. I wanted to film it in the tree for you because it's also cool to see them where it doesn't look like they belong in trees because of their long legs, long neck. All right, we'll keep moving. Yeah, so hiking after a rain isn't for the faint of heart. My legs are absolutely soaking. But that's okay. It's got a feeling of freshness by having this recently fallen rain. We've had a fire ban in this area, and who knows, maybe there was enough rain in order to abolish that, but we'll respect it no matter what. So when I'm leading a hike, like I will be this week, and it's 2 hours long, I can't take the time to sit and wait for a sighting. So in this case here, I saw this green heron. Why? Because it was flying. So that drew my attention to it. I saw where it landed, and then I tried to be able to focus on it so that it would be a contrast enough to the green background. So the green heron on green foliage, right, on the pond lilies. So anyway, I won't be able to show the hiking group tomorrow, even though it is nature-based and I try to point out as many forms of wildlife as I get to see. Something like that just takes a lot of patience, and I've been standing here for probably an hour. And so now it's time for me to continue along the trail and just see what other sightings I might be able to expose the group to tomorrow, and therefore you. So anyway, I'm happy with that I had a chance to not only see 3 green herons, but I got to film 1, even though it's in the distance. And you can see how well camouflaged they are. If I hadn't seen it land, there's no way I would have been able to pick it out, because all of the pond lilies around me, you can see the leaves are sort of curled up, so they could be sort of bird-shaped. And sometimes it's just that wildlife gives you a helping hand and they land They fly somewhere, they land. There was a muskrat I had a chance to see too, moving along this sort of peninsula area in the middle, but it never resurfaced, so I wasn't able to film that. That would have been cool too. So anyway, sometimes we just depend on that helping hand that wildlife provides us with. So this is pretty cool because this is fresh beaver activity, and the reason I say fresh is the wood that's exposed now with no bark, that's fresh. The wood chippings that are down beneath, that's fresh. And it just shows clear signs of beavers. Beavers live here in the Thames River, and they'll use the wood. This tree is not a complete cut down, so they might come back and finish it off. But the reason they want to cut a tree down is because, first off, the tender part of the leaves and things like that, they have to be able to bring the tree down in order to access the food supply. So it could be for food, for the leaves, the twigs, the succulent parts of the tree. It could be because they're building something like their lodge or a dam, which would flow across, which would be built across a body of water to prevent the flow and flood an area. So that's the purpose for a dam, and that's so that they can stay in the water as long as possible without having to, expose themselves to land predators like coyotes. So anyway, that's cool to see that there's a good, healthy beaver population, and they're actively managing this woodlot. Probably not so good if it's something that happens on your property, but this is what beavers do. This is what they're driven to do. They're rodents. They're North America's largest rodent. So that wraps up today's hike. I've had a chance to come out here and plan some interpretive stops. Have a group of 16 that'll be coming out with me. And so I just wanted to be able to kind of go through the steps and just be able to film this beautiful trail and whatever possible wildlife I was able to see along the way. So I'm really glad that you had a chance to see Great Blue Heron, Green Heron. That's usually really difficult to see. Belted Kingfishers, Eastern Kingbirds, ducks. There's always something interesting to see, and I'm glad you came out with me today. I'll see you out on the trail next week. Bye for now.